Good evening. We are late. We do apologise. Welcome to the Turn End podcast in what is a podcast that we were debating not even doing, Steph, I suppose. That's probably the best way of putting it. Let's get stuck into it straight away. We hope to keep his nice and not too late, but look, that depends on what people are thinking about the result. But Steph, I think where we are in the league, where Drogheda have gotten on tonight, we can talk about, we're obviously going to point at really, obvious kind of player or possible errors tonight and how we correct them. But as a performance, as a spectacle in Oriel Park tonight, we're both at the game, and there's nothing like being down the town end to hear exactly and see what exactly is going on, especially on the defensive side of the things for the second half. But can we sum it up? Can we It's beyond it. It's not that it's disappointing. You're more kind of angered at the fact that we've made some decent signings on paper. I mean, these have been kind of founded around as signings that can help us survive and help us stay in the Premier Division. But tonight, on the performance and the way Galway played, and we're able to keep it straightforward, we would probably struggle against most First Division teams playing like that tonight.
Yeah, it seemed very easy for Galway to come up here, and it's just totally disheartening there tonight. We never really looked like we were going to score. I know we've a couple of half chances in the second half, but we are you got to half time and you're sort of saying, "Geez, we'll take a 0-0 now and just get on to the next one," sort of thing. But
yeah. That
second half performance was up there with one of the worst halves we've played all season, and we've had some poor performances. You were sort of crying out for a few subs to be made when it didn't look like anything was going to happen, and it just went on longer and longer. And then, when the subs did come, then it just seemed to unravel and things got worse. I'm standing beside my old mate Stephen Todd, and sort of saying, they were dangerous from set plays, try and restrict them, or even from that long throw. Like it was causing havoc, and they were picking up second balls from it. But we were just putting ourselves under pressure. I know when you try and compare different games, but it's a stark contrast to what we seen against Drogheda at home in the league. We come out of the traps flying, firing. Everyone looked hungry. Everyone looked to get on the ball. Everyone looked to go forward with it.
Yeah,
that's a complete, if you want yin and yang, there you go. We seem to be laboured. We seem to be sitting back off them. We got out-muscled. We got outplayed.
But even when you say that, that's the first thing I would have thought of, the physicality of Galway. But it's not like people don't know that that's the way Galway play.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to discredit Galway. We've had some really good players today. We talk about players. We mentioned Conor McCombs before we come on as well. But it's not like you don't know that's the way Ollie Horgan and John Coffey are going to set these boys up to be physical, to be kind of, they kind of shrink down when you've got the ball at the back, to keep the ball out of their box, and then they open up to go on the counter attack. And I don't know if I seen comments of hoof ball and long ball. It's not even long ball. It's doing what they have to do to keep Dundalk at bay. It's almost what we should be doing now to get points on the ball. It's not the greatest way of playing, but people know what you're going to get. And like you say there, it's not like this wasn't on the cards. It's not like Galway haven't changed the way they played for the last 2 years, even in First Division. They bullied the way to the top of the division. They've come into the league, done really well because of the way they play. So it's just a strange way that we haven't been set up to deal with them.
Yeah, look, I think they get a bit of a bad rap just because there's a lot of disliking towards the manager. But yeah, look, they obviously focus on their set plays, and they've obviously got a lot of joy from it. But yeah, I think a couple of comments are going in for the keeper already. And look, there's no hiding place now. Look, we haven't been able to solve that problem area in a long, long while. Every time we think we have somebody and get excited about a goalkeeper, it's just a catalogue of mistakes. Like when you watch that first one back, I just quickly watched the highlights again. I thought I imagined that the first goal that he sort of half threw it and pushed it in the net, but it's even worse when you watch it back because the header just seems straight at him, and I don't know whether he's just trying to push it away, but it doesn't even seem like there's much power in the header, and he just pushes it into his own net. Now, once or twice, I was saying to people around me, he didn't look like he knew where his bearings well. Because once or twice the ball was coming back, and Mayo had to shout at him to just take it 2 or 3 steps back into his own box so he could collect the ball. He started poorly, and all them errors are going to really play on his mind. He's coming into his first season as a senior player, probably, or he's only played a handful of games, but. I don't know. I think you're better off taking him out of the firing line. Now, this is the third keeper this season. We're having to do it. And, you'd started with Shelby, and we'd the false down of the Rovers game. We thought he was brilliant, and he possibly got man of the match. And, Monroe has made a couple of errors when he's been in, and, it's no different from Goddard. It's... Sam Malloy, is it Malloy that played the Shells game? He's probably looked the most confident out of them all. He's only played one game, and look, he's only a young kid. You're sort of saying could he do any worse now at this stage? So when you're not even creating chances of putting them under pressure, and it's a tough watch.
Well, I've seen the comments coming in, and I was mentioning in Oriel Park that it is a bit of therapy, but if we're therapeutic, the man that dishes out the medicinal prescriptions behind the scenes, Chris, welcome to the Town End Podcast. I just wanted to. I was doing the Town End tonight. I said to Steph off air. Steph just mentioned the first goal. It seemed. I know what's going on a little bit. I know it's, but even if you take we can talk about the first half. But I just wanted to pinpoint the first goal that he mentioned there. We're talking about the goalkeepers and obviously your goalkeeper union. So that ball, it's not like it's a snapshot header. It's not like he's come across a centre back and caught the goalkeeper unawares. Everybody in the dogs in the street knew what he was going to do with the ball and head it, and it seems to go. I don't know how it's gone between the hands. I haven't seen the replay of it. But from up where you were up in the gantry, I'm surprised the camera didn't just pan to your feet and say, "Look, let's get this out of the way here." But that just summed up what we had. And even before the break, we had a couple of minutes there where we're lucky we could get something. There was a couple of chances, Benson's chance, a couple of shots over a couple of minutes, but that's just Dundalk this season, isn't it? That's I don't want to go straight to the goal, but it was just we were on the subject of goalkeepers, and that seems to be the topic of tonight. But it's a really poor. We just can't. 4 goalkeepers. We just can't seem to get this right this season.
Yeah, I thought he had a disappointing night overall. Hesitant to come out for balls. He was. I thought he was for sure going to give away a penalty at some stage, as well. It's for the first one comes over. He sticks up his hands, and it's like he must have closed his eyes at the back post or something. You can only assume because
so strange.
Yeah, it kind of goes through his 2 arms. He hasn't tried to push it to the side. He hasn't tried to push it over. He's just kind of gone like this, and the ball's gone right the way through towards you'd always want your 2 thumbs kind of touching them and be able to push the ball away, or the ball can't get through. That's what you're always taught.
I thought he pushed it into the side of the net. When I watched the highlights back,
I think it came off one of the arms, Steph, was it not? And then in.
The ball comes straight at him, and he seems to. I think he's trying to push it away, and he pushes it into his own net. Yeah, I don't. It's a
strange one. Yeah, it's a strange one. And then you think of the mistake in Weavers Park previously as well, and you could tell that the defense was unsure of him tonight as well. And when I seen Boiler in the lineup, I thought we'll have a far more assured back 4, but it didn't happen tonight. And you're saying that Sean Malloy probably didn't do anything wrong. I don't think Sean Keogh has done anything wrong to be replaced a left back. At least he's a natural left footer. I don't think Dan Pike offered us anything different tonight. As Flano mentioned in the commentary, he probably didn't help his teammate at all. When McGill goes over to tackle on the second goal, he kind of stands and just watches him. He didn't go in to help his teammate in the off chance that the player gets past him. And by the time he looks and, the time the player actually gets past McGill, then there's not a hope Pipe's gonna catch him, and he's able to get the big cross into the back post, and we're 2-0 down, and game's done, balls burst, good night.
And that's it. That is it. I mean, it's like I said to Steph before you come on, what you're going to get with Galway, and Flano said it as well, but they did play a bit. I mean, they can play. I mean, like we were talking about Conor McCormick, Buckley at the back was sensational, I thought. I mean, he's an absolute beast. I know he's midfielder by trade, but it's not like I seen the comments online, the long ball hoof. I don't think Galway were like that tonight. They just got stuck in. They just knew exactly what they're doing, and they can move when they want. But we just, and I don't know what. Maybe I'm just because it's after the game, but it's what we should be doing. We now need to be adopting that style, because I don't see where we go now and pick up points, because.
But they've also players like Walsh and Hurley and that they know how to play that system and stuff like that as well, and they're getting the best out of them. And I think they started much better today. First 10-15 minutes, they were bang at it, and I was really, really worried at that stage that we were going to be out of sight very quickly. And then I seen that Drogheda had gone 1-0 up, and I was like, oh Jesus, this is going to be a disaster of a night. And then we kind of settled into the game in the first half, and there's a big chance there. She was 2 or 3. Well, there weren't big chances, probably half-hearted attempts, and the offside goal as well.
Compared to what we've had all season.
Yeah, exactly. O'Kane kind of slashes at one, probably looking for him to be a little bit cooler on that. I didn't see the replay for Gullen, but I think he was offside for that one as well. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And we kind of huffed and puffed and got ourselves kind of back into the game, and they weren't dictating at all. But I felt like for the majority of the game we were huffing and puffing without really doing anything. There was some energy in the middle of the park at times, but there was no penetration at all.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be the difference, that when Galway actually got 2 or 3 big chances, they took 2 of them. And that's the difference. And let's face it, the other third one, I thought Goddard would give away a penalty, and then it rolled to the other lad, and he's just going to tap this in, and somehow he cracks it off the crossbar. I went, wow. I wasn't too sure.
I people almost, it's almost the state of the 2 goals. People forget those chances. You forget it could have been 3 or 4. I know exactly. we probably could have scored 1 or 2 chances in the first half. You might have got something out of him, and I think the block twice in the second half.
We never really tested Brendan Clark at all tonight.
No. He's 47 years of age, and we never gave him a crack.
There was a back pass in the first half as well that nearly ended in disaster. And then I think Goddard tries to play it and nearly gets caught out in that one as well. So, Jimmy Keown will probably be thanking his lucky stars that they went on and won the game, because he would have been having nightmares about that missed chance. But yeah, they had a series of good chances that on another day, could have been a real bad beating for us. So
yeah,
it's hard to pick out anything from that. Just before you come on, Chris, we were talking about the total contrast between the draw of the game and look, it's a derby and there's a couple of new lads coming in, but it's no excuse now at this stage. If they can produce that sort of, I wouldn't even say performance, even that sort of attitude where you're at it, you're closing people down, you're putting people on pressure. It's just missing. It was the same at Daily Mount last week. Obviously, you missed the podcast because
you missed
coming on from that dump. But yeah, we just stood off them, and the few players that run around and look like they're doing good, but then when they actually have time on the ball to play it, they're losing possession. And there's turnovers, and Hurley hits nearly the inside of the post as well from a turnover. The first goal, Hakiki gets his pocket picked by Conor McCormick. They get it out wide. The cross isn't closed down. Boylog comes through the back of Mayo, which the ball goes up into the air, and then Pike's position is poor, and then Goddard pushes into his net. So, like, you know, it's not just one mistake in the build up to a goal. You can take your pick of how bad it was. The McGill's half-hearted challenge, and then he tries to go at him again. That he's the wrong side. But yeah, like you said, Chris, Pike doesn't read the danger. Where's the danger going to be?
Yeah. But what happens if McGill gets isn't able to put in a challenge? That's what he should be thinking.
Yeah.
I need to be there to cover my teammate that he's not getting down the line with that ball.
Yeah, as a defender, and Flano is the perfect one to tell you there. Like, you know, you have to be anticipating that, you know, your winger or midfielder or whoever it is in front of you isn't going to make the challenge or isn't going to get there. So you're there to cover it. You can't just, you know, be relying on the winning possession. You know, it's a half decent ball into a dangerous area, but again, it's in the 6-yard box, and unfortunately, Mountney just gets caught underneath it, and Walsh gets the spring in. Look, it's 2-0 and it's game over, and the place empties out. Look, the atmosphere was dead, but I think you know the way we started the game off, it was weird, because even the second half, the second half had actually started and I hadn't realised it. I actually was talking to somebody behind was talking to me, and next of all I turned around and there was an attack on, and I was like, you know,
78 minutes.
Yeah, but it was like, it was so strange, because usually, like, you know, you build
hear a roar or something,
and then you get, but you're just missing. And look, it's hard for fans as well, because you're watching it and you're after watching that first half, and you're crying for the dog there. You're crying for the halftime whistle, just so you can get a break from it. But yeah, like, it was just a weird atmosphere. Like, I don't think I've ever witnessed that in a match. Like, the second half started and there wasn't even, you couldn't even hear the players shouting, like, sort of thing. So yeah,
I think the most disappointing thing of all is, you know, and that was kind of the conversation at full time, was when you look at momentum, you look at a bit of heart and a bit of fight, you know, you're probably favouring Drogheda over us right now. They're, you know, unbeaten now in the last 3 games, if you include us in the cup. They're picking up unlikely points at home. They're scoring goals. They're staying in games. It's everything we're not doing, you know. And that's the real challenge, I think, that John Daly has now. Is, I think he's changed pretty much this whole team now. So these, you know, the majority of these players are the ones now that he has and that he's wanted to bring in. So we have to find a system that we create more in, like, that we stand a better chance of actually getting something out of a match, because we're kind of just drifting in games sometimes, and there's no killer edge to our play. We don't show that fight. Like, you could see as soon as they got that second goal, we were done. The crowd had turned slightly. There was a couple of shouts.
It's been a long time since I heard an emphatic boo at the end of a game like that. Now, I know, look, you get a bit of abuse. Like, we obviously, Andy Boyle may owe, there's videos circulating on social media. But it's been a long time since I've heard that. Like, that was an instant. Like, it wasn't, it's not that it was overly powerful. It was just, we're sick of this shit now. That's, you know,
it's a lack of caring there. It seems to kind of hurt people the most there tonight. And to say, if you're putting in the effort but you're just not getting the reward, I think people will give you the benefit of the doubt on that, because sometimes the most skillful players could have the most heart for the club and they're showing the most effort, and people will take that over anything else, because they know when you're down, you need just people who are willing just to roll up the sleeves and, I don't want to say play ugly or play dirty or anything like that, but do you know what I mean? Like, who are happy to do that. Not exactly. Not letting people just get past you easily and stuff. Like, you know, like you wanted McGill or Pike on that second goal for, you know, if a player gets past you, you take him out, you know, and you put it in, you take a yellow card and you say, right, lads, but don't leave me isolated like that again. You know, have a, you know, regroup after it, but not, you know, we're not showing enough. How many times did we say over the past few seasons that we looked like we were doing nothing in a game until suddenly there was a big tackle in a match or something, and it just ignited everything.
Yeah.
Like at no stage did that happen tonight. We absolutely cruised in second gear for the majority of the night, and we paid the ultimate price for that. And the problem is a gap that we were looking only 2 weeks ago of 5 points is now down to 2. That's the worrying thing. Like momentum swinging back now the opposite
you've
way.
also got, like, I mean, I know you're, even if you look around that, even Pats as well, Pats 28, they play, you know, they're going to probably going to run knowing the way we played. So it's going to knock anything above you. It's just literally 2 of us now. And like there's an like I just seen, if I lost it, John Curtis put up a thing there. I hope it wasn't a physical round it was on at the end of it, well, but this is what we're up against. So, like, you know, there's a topic there. Would draw to have a better squad man for man at the minute than us? It's definitely up for debate. I mean, like,
well, up front, they definitely have.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like, and that's what we just can't seem to get that kind of final. I was going to say final piece of the jigsaw. It's the jigsaw's missing. The box is gone. The bin or something into where it is. It's like a 1,000-piece jigsaw. We only have 500 pieces. But it's
more fine the end of the building.
That's the problem. Here's the problem.
And that's what we're up against. So it's not like, you know. Yeah, I remember. Like, I mean, you'd obviously think to yourself as a Dundalk fan, oh, we're, you know, maybe a couple of months ago, no, we're too good to go down. Like, you're nowhere near. Like, you're not. Nobody's too good to go down. But we're not even performing. It'd be different if you were playing out of your skin and just not getting the break. That's different. You know, that can change, and you can always swing that around. But we're not getting the break because we can't string passes together. We can't keep the ball. You know, we don't create. We're not creating anything. I mean, anything we're looking at now is free kicks, long shots. You know, we're not really creating in the box. Yes, we've a Gullins chance earlier on from O'Kane. It's popped in. He's just offside, but that's about it. I mean, that's a mistake. And like you're banking on mistakes then to really get any kind of sniff on goal. And yeah, it's like you say, Chris. It's down to 2 points now, and there's like momentum now. The set of games that are coming up for draw as well.
We've Derry away next, like
yeah, like it's look, it's going to be I was going to say it's going to be a long end of the season. It won't be. It'll fly in because where we
that'll
are,
be the problem.
Absolutely fly in.
The margin for error is getting smaller and smaller as we go on here. That, you know, if you're not picking up something out of matches now, you're falling behind.
Yeah,
and you know, I was kind of putting the point that, you know, maybe the point on the road at Bohemians may not be the worst thing, because like how many points have we picked up on the road? But when you put that together with a defeat tonight, it's useless, really. You know, we need to be like, I didn't think that Galway were fantastic or anything like that. Like you weren't outplayed tonight or anything like that, but it's like they were happy enough for us to have possession at times because we just didn't do enough with it.
Yeah. And
when they finally went at us, we just had no reply to it. We were a soft touch at times. We were it felt like they were always just waiting for us to make that mistake in some way. Like Steph mentioned, is it going to be a back pass? Is it going to be a misplaced? You know, like there was a couple of balls were bouncing all over the place when we were taking one too many touches when we could lay the ball off. Like Rossi was up beside us on the gantry, and you know he kept saying, "Just lay the ball off, just keep it moving." You know, trying to increase the tempo. You could hear what he was saying, and you could see what sort of application they're looking for him to play. But it just felt like the player every time in that just picked the wrong decision. Every single time it was, "I'll just take on one more player. I'll try to draw one more player in here," and that ended up being one too many. Or we'd win the ball back, and the ball would just be ricocheting everywhere, and we just be like, "Oh, we just need to get rid of this," and lump the ball, and then it's just coming back at us again. It just, you know, it's very. I'd say you could probably pick out in one hand good patterns of play we had tonight, and I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing for John Daly now. Like, does he go back and say, "Well, like we're going to be here all day, lads, picking up the issues and the problems we have. So there's loads to work on. Or is it the fact that there's loads to work on the problem? Do you know what I mean? When there's so little.
The only problem with that is the games are running out, and you're sort of looking now. After, I know it's straight after the game and how bad we performed, but if you got the fixture list and had a run down through it, like how many of those games are you going to say, oh yeah, look, we'll definitely get 3 points there? There's probably there could be none.
I don't think there's any guarantee that we'll be picking up any guaranteed 3 points.
You're going into, like, I was on the way up to Oriel and I was sort of saying, do you know what, if we win tonight and Pats lose on Sunday, like, you know, Derry, you mightn't get anything up there, but that Pats game on the Sunday, then, you know, when it rolls around, there's going to be a massive game. But now we've lost tonight, and you're saying Pats might win on Sunday now, and, you know, pull away from us, and then, you know, then reality starts hitting, and you're going, the best you can get here is probably going to be a playoff. So, look, I didn't think we showed. I know, like you said, you know, a point mightn't have been bad last week, but like Bohemians were there to be shot at.
Yeah.
Last week, and we didn't even. I know Hakiki has a great chance at the end. We didn't perform that well, but we just sat off them. We could have went for a little bit more. And look, maybe we might have got beaten, but maybe we might have won. And then you just sort of pick up a small bit of momentum in that. So yeah, I wish Flano.
That's why he was in the queue for Mullins.
That's why he missed the start of the second half.
He was at the back of the van. Like if there's your fixtures there, like away to Derry, home to Pats, home to Shells, away to Waterford, away to Sligo, home to Bows, away to Galway, away to Derry, or home to Derry, home to Rovers.
God, it just gets worse as you read them out there.
Yeah.
And like Steph just said there, like,
you don't want to be.
There's normally one or two fixtures where you think you get a point here. You get that. I don't know where. Basing off the last couple of weeks, I don't know where. Like,
yeah, but dropping the last two games that picked up 4 points.
Yeah,
is the big problem.
Where's the team that played the first half against Pats and then Chicago? Where's that team? Like, I know we've made some signs, but where's that attitude? Where's that application? Like Flano said, it's not necessarily the players. You got to put them out to do a job, what they're capable of doing. Like, where's the application from there? Where's that team? I just don't look. And we draw it at home. Where's that? You know, where's that mantra? Where's that mental kind of attitude towards everything? It's just, you know, like the Dundalk fans. We've said it. We said it through when we started this podcast. The Dundalk fans can take a lot. They'll take a lot, but what they won't take is people not applying themselves on the football field. You know, we can have bad games, but they will not accept people not giving 100%, stupid things on the field, silly passes, not putting pressure on people. They just won't accept it. And, you know, after that, like, they can even accept dodgy results, but it's the performance. That's the problem. When you don't look like you're going to, like, if you play the game again tomorrow night, it'd be the same outcome. The same things would happen over and over and over again. And that's the worrying thing. And yeah, like somebody said there, another goalkeeper, like Malloy, Peter Cherry. Like, Peter Cherry's, you know, won the league. I'm not saying you bring him back in straight away. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, but there's no argument for not changing the keeper now, because, and it's not just to go, look at the ball is to go that far, but when you make glaringly obvious mistakes like that, it just kind of picks away at the decision from Daly and whoever recruited players to go say, wait, what do we need our keeper for? You know, why? Like, we signed 2 keepers in a couple of weeks, including Peter Cherry. Like, yeah, look,
we did have no goalkeeping coach at the time though as well.
Sure, look, I mean, who's like, you know, like,
it's gotten worse in the last few weeks.
Yeah, and somebody said, you know, experienced goalkeeper. You'd like to think coming in from England they are, but there's obviously a reason. Maybe there's a reason why nobody was looking for. I don't know. Look, we're obviously, you're raw after a game. Mistakes were made, but this is not the first mistake that's been made. And look, it's a long queue of mistakes from goalkeepers over the last couple of seasons. But it's, you know, you need, and like, you know, like Corey said, that you can't be having and you need your bigger players to come to the fore now. You need your Andy Boyles, your Darryl Hoggins, your Robbie Benson.
Absolutely,
it's just not.
But that isn't. But look, on Corey's point, then isn't that half the problem? Then You know, you have someone like Owen Kenny coming in, and you want them to get minutes.
Yeah.
But we also need a proven goal scorer as well. And you know, it's a very tough environment for him to be in. And once Gullen goes off, and then Owen has to lead the line, and you don't want an 18-year-old leading the line like that, you know, who hasn't got the experience in the league. So that's, you know, kind of, it's the issue we're having is that you want these players to get a chance, but right now in a dogfight, it's kind of hard to justify giving opportunities like that. But what are we going to do? Like, I don't know what we do, but we badly need to pick up points somewhere along the line. It's going to just be a it's going to, if we pick up a point somewhere, it's going to be a bit like Droghed's win over Waterford. It's something that you're not banking on. But right now, looking at how we played tonight, now it's hard to see where any wins are going to come from.
Yeah.
Steph, come in with some words of wisdom.
No, I wish I had some. You know, 3 points would have papered over the cracks nicely.
Even a point there tonight would have, and to keep the 3 point gap again.
You would have just said, look, just keep taking away. But yeah, like, you know what, it's easy to point the finger at everyone now because we're not doing well, but the players have to look at themselves now. Surely if you're a professional footballer and you've put in that performance, or, you know, like you said, like some of them just, they don't seem to be at it from the whistle. So there's players coming back from injury and whatever else. Boyle comes straight back in, but surely you've a bit of a fight or a bit of dog in you, and you just say, look, we're going to be solid here. We're going to give fuck all away, and then we build from there. Like, it just seemed like very easy. Like, Galway started dominating from the off. I know we came back into it a wee bit with the half chances, but, you know, they were just looking to clip balls in behind the centre halves and the full backs, and had the runners and trying to get crosses into the box for Walsh. Like, you know, it's not rocket science what they were trying to do. Like, we didn't. O'Kane cut back in on his right in the first half twice or three times. Once he has the snapshot that seems to just go past the post or a wee bit wide. But, you know, your Darryl Hogan, for all his endeavour or whatever, you know, I can't remember him getting to the byline and whipping a cross in, or, you know, some build-up play. Like, we really, really struggled for creativity. Hakiki was bright spark last week when he came on, and Daly man, same with Robbie Mahan. But, you know what, Hakiki wasn't at it today, where he didn't get supply of the ball. We didn't get it in the right areas from. Just, you know, Conor McCormick was very, very clever in there. I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch tonight.
Don't we say that every time he plays against us?
Oh, yeah. It's not like Gary Deegan. We just sort of think, I don't know whether we make these boys look great, but yeah, look, they're good players. And but yeah, I would have liked to see Mahan come on a bit earlier. I thought, you know, he caused a bit of trouble last week for Bowes. He opened up his legs twice or three times last week, and I thought he deserved a bit of a longer run. Especially when we weren't doing it out wide, and sometimes you can just freshen it up. He went on one run and he carried the ball from halfway up to nearly the edge of the box. I don't think Etten came of it, but I thought we probably could have got him the ball a wee bit more when he did actually come on, because you can see he has pace and he can dribble the ball. So look, it was better than we had been showing up until then. But yeah, like, well, Owen Kenny has one good chance, but like, it's all, you know, comes on, works hard, but we're just not seeing any end product. Like, it's probably a build-up. I seen someone message me saying Robbie Benson went mad when he got taken off. He was kicking things about and whatever else. And look, that's what you want to see, but just frustrating that, you know, it's when he comes off or when he's taken off. Possibly a bit harsh that he gets taken off instead of some other players on the pitch. But yeah, like,
I think at that stage, though, Sean Daly was kind of trying to change anything and everything to see if he could get some sort of reaction, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look, I don't know if Robbie staying on the pitch, like we would have got something out of the game, but yeah, even last week you could see Robbie getting frustrated because he wanted the whole team to push up, and he's trying to drag them up by his closing down, and he's calling players up. And last week it's just sitting in, not closing. You're just inviting the pressure. So yeah, look, we didn't deserve anything out of the game, and we didn't get it. So
no, exactly.
It's just a tough one now that we have to go away to Derry. Like, obviously, the old Hefley there, and they're obviously in the title hunt, and we're in the dog fight. So yeah, it's going to be extremely, extremely tough up there.
The thing you will say, so we play Derry next week, and then with the FAI Cup weekend after, obviously we're not doing anything, so we have a break nearly of 2 weeks. It has to be some sort of a reset with this squad, doesn't it?
Yeah. You'd like
we said this so many times this year. That's the only problem, is like, let's just get to this break, get to this, and we'll be all right. And we still found ourselves in this situation. But I did see a comment come in there.
As well, we've got.
Go on ahead.
Go on, you're okay. Go on.
No, just I seen a comment in there. Something about it's like looking at the bigger picture as well. We're not picking up the results, but you also look at other teams up and down the league, and they're taking strides off the pitch as well. It does seem like if the worst thing happens, we did get relegated, it would be a shocking time to do it, because we don't have. It's not like you're saying, okay, but we're going to rebuild and we'll rebuild better, and Oriel Park's going to look better, and we've got all these new systems in place. I feel it would be a real kick in the teeth for this whole area. And you look and you say that Drogheda have recruited pretty well in this break, and you look at their plans they have for new stadiums and improving infrastructure all around. We're missing, like we've always said it, we're missing a plan for the club. And I sometimes feel that maybe that has an effect on players that we can attract also, because no one's signing us saying, well, look, this club is going somewhere. Maybe if I perform well, they've got great new plans, I'd like to be part of this. It's kind of, oh yeah, I'll sign for this club, but Oriel Park's a shithole, sort of a thing. And that, it can't reflect well. You're probably seeing players come back into this league, and they're going to come back and play in Oriel Park, and they go, nothing has changed since I left. No. And come back.
Yeah, we actually made that comment tonight at the game. We were talking about the United, the United game that was on, that Gav had up during the week, and there was a high rise shot of Oriel Park. It looks carbon copy of what it looks like now, and that's 30 years ago. There's been, apart from it not being an artificial pitch, and the Carrick Road end where you'd be able to stand and walk behind. Apart from that, it hasn't actually. Now, I know there's been a new shed put in, but it doesn't look any different. Like if you were at that game and came to Oriel Park tonight, you're looking at the same area, and that's a real worry. And look, we've talked about this before, different things and what should be done and can't be done and won't be done. But yeah, I think the real kind of shite icing on the shite cake will be if they get relegated, because where do you go? Who do you look for? What do you look? I know. I was just going to say, I know we're only in July. We're not. We're in August. But it's it could be dire. Like somebody put up, it could be a catastrophe. Absolutely. Like it's a catastrophe. Look, it's bad to get relegated anyway. But when we have off the field stuff and hear different things, and
like sometimes you're sort of saying, maybe if we get relegated, then we can just build and come back stronger.
Yeah,
like one step backwards, 2 steps forward, sort of thing. But like you know yourself how hard that first division is to get out of, and if you're not set up well, even if you come back into the division, we've seen plenty of teams just coming up and down and up and down. UCD, Bray, and now look where they are. They're really struggling as well. So yeah, like you're sort of caught in. You sort of had the pull of European football for a while. That's long been evaporated. Premier Division football might have been a pull. Like, you get some lads in from England, but look, we can go through the recruitment and the state of the facilities and everything else until we're blue in the face. We probably gone past that point. This stage, but yeah, like
nobody's listening to us.
But Steph, you also look at some of the other teams that the players have been able to recruit back in, like like Elwes Eddie hasn't come back on a small wage at Pats.
Yeah.
Cunningham hasn't come back on a small wage there at Galway. Like, we don't seem to be in the market to be able to attract any of these sort of players in. And then that's not even before you start talking about, the big wages players are on in Rovers, the massive wages they're on up in Derry, and, they still don't have a trophy really to show for it, or a title, should I say, really. And, a poor run in Europe, and we don't have European money, and there's going to be a big cash injection, I believe, from UEFA next season to smaller nations. So that could end up meaning that the teams in the top division will maybe have a little bit more money floating around. And if we're not at that table, it's absolutely catastrophic then.
Yeah, you only have to look at what Cork City have done in the last week or so. Like
Keating coming back to the first division, like, it's crazy.
And did I see Sean Maguire's after signing back with them as well now?
I don't. Was that not just someone stuck it up? He was wearing the old jersey.
Oh, was it?
Did you fall for that one, Steph?
I probably did. Yeah. No, I just seen something flashing up earlier and thought he'd sign back. But like, even Keaton alone, like, he was flying in the first division. He'd done okay at Pats. But like, you're looking at even first division players signing players like that'd be the caliber that we'd sort of be looking at.
Here's the worrying thing, though, Steph. You put starting 11 that played in Drogheda tonight versus start 11 in Oriel tonight. Which one's going to give you the better chance to get out of relegation battle right now?
Yeah, no comment.
But isn't that, but there's the issue. There's the issue. Like, I feel that whether it was just John Daly had so much that he felt he had to do, that it's hard to see an impact for them towards. I think Drogheda realizes that they needed another striker up with Perot. And they got is it Herrero? Was that his name? I can't remember his name. The right back they got back in. He's decent. They got yeah. I think that they've recruited kind of hardy lads, and one or two ballers around that who can really play football. Towards, I think we've had to, because all our loan signings that came in, we lost all them. So straight away, John Daly's had to replace those just to keep the numbers right in the squad, and then trying to build around that again. And it's hard. You're asking these guys to get up to speed immediately towards. I think they've kind of recruited one or two from within the league and one or two that's already been playing in the league before. And that's kind of, hitting the ground running and sort of a thing like Farrell and stuff like that. And we're missing that. We're missing that bit of league experience. I think you probably had a little bit from A. Delvin there today. I think he kind of showed a little bit, but kind of huffed and puffed as well. Without really, like, you can see his heart's in the right place and he's trying his best for it, but I think we're missing something from him, like, whether that's someone else needs to be playing with him, but at times he just needed to release the ball and he's carrying it, he's running into the trouble at times, but at the same time he was getting his foot in and he was tackling, so it's sometimes that's not enough.
His second touch is a tackle.
Look,
I think he's good in that role where he's like the dogged one, and he goes around chasing after people, putting in tackles. But then he just has to do it simple. Anytime he looks to pass forward, it breaks down. And a couple of times now in the last couple of weeks where he's given it away in critical areas, it leads to big chances. So, yeah, it's hard. I don't know if he needs someone in there beside him, but
even just to slow him down, it's like when Dervin got on the ball, he was just in such a hurry that it was too rushed. Like you said, his first touch then, instead of just being cool, calm, and maybe being aware of his surroundings, being able to take a touch, take the ball, move into a bit of space where, you know, he would be a bit more secure. Like you say, his second touch ended up being a tackle because the ball's running away from him, or he's just throwing a foot in somewhere to try to get a tackle and it's just rolling away, and then he's having a slide tackle in you know, he got a couple of ticking off from the referee and stuff like that as well. That scattergun right now, we don't need that, if you know what I mean. We need a couple of cool heads in there who can play the ball and find that incisive pass that unlocks a defense. And unfortunately, you know, he's not that sort of player, I don't think, but we definitely haven't seen it anyway.
Yeah. It's a tough one because you're coming into a scrap, but look, he should know. He's been around the league for long enough, and look, he's played with Longford for long enough, so he should know what.
That's true. Just on John's thing, Sam Durant and Jamie Walker were doing a fitness test before the match tonight. So that's the first. I forgot they were even here.
I just love that first line from John.
Yeah, but like last year, and me and Adrian Taff were talking, you know, when Sam Durant came into this team last year, we seen him do that wonder goal against Cork around this time. Yep, that's what we need. That's really what we need. We need someone who can just take.
Even a comment there. I think John Cooney had mentioned. I should have apologies, John. No, not Jordan. So, like, talking about Sam Durant on the same milk, Ryan O'Kane. Like, they're just not what we expect of them. What they're capable of just hasn't come to the fore over the last couple of months. You know, like Ryan O'Kane might be feeling the pressure because it's a local team, because local lad, but these are players we're going to need, and it's that type of football, like you say, Sam Durant, that type, when he can burst onto the scene with us, as I can make a Richards there. Like, we thought we also had, you know, Raheem a couple of seasons ago as well, who's signed for Shells. Shells. But, you know, these players really kind of out and out wingers that we wanted to see, but just haven't got, for whatever reason, they've just been nullified or just been kind of pared down to just not being predictable. I don't know, but it's just come to fruition. It's all come together at the wrong time, and it's just not going. But yeah, like, just not to cut across, which is something that I see with Ryan. But yeah, Sam Durant, look, you obviously seen him doing I think a test earlier on with Jamie Walker, was it?
Yeah,
not like a maths test. It's fitness test.
No, it definitely wasn't. No, it just looked like a fitness test that you normally see, probably, you know, any of the players, and then you'd probably see them feature in the next match for it. But yeah,
like the problem is we've seen flashes of I don't know if I'm going too far saying brilliance, but we've seen flashes of very good play from all of the players you've mentioned above. It's just that we haven't seen the consistency, or you're sort of just waiting for it to happen, or waiting for the next big moment, or one or two moments in a row where you sort of go, yeah, they're starting to be a player now, or we're starting to pick up a bit of momentum here. But it's just been few and far between, and you know, the longer it goes on, the worse it gets, I suppose. So, Austin Brink.
I don't know. Corey's one might win a pizza there tonight. Well, that's a hell of a description.
Yeah,
you still laugh for it.
Folks to put in your descriptions. That's definitely in the lead at the minute.
Yeah. Stick it on a t-shirt. Yeah. Stick it on your pizza toppings. Yeah, look, I'd say, lads, we could go round and round in circles here on the same points. Like, we're looking for a lot more out of this team, because what we've seen over the past two matches, being, you know, completely out of games for long portions, is, you know, it's not good enough. You got to stay in the coattails to stay in games, and we never had that opportunity tonight at all. I never felt. But we need John Daly. I said to Gav, when John Daly took a little while to come out tonight, I said, "Jesus, I hope he's not doing a Stevie O'Donnell here on me, and they're holding a lock in and then all out." But I think right now we need a little fucking fire under their arses and say, like, that's not good enough. if that's how you're going to perform at home, you're going to lose this home support. And we went through that run of being undefeated in Oriel Park for so long, and you think of, was it the Bohemians match when we finally got that win, and you think of the atmosphere and everything that day was fantastic. And we need, if you're going to have those opportunities to get the crowd on board, you need to be doing a lot more as a football team to get people on board. And right now we're not good enough. And I think that is John Daly and his team's biggest task, is to increase the levels of this team dramatically, because we're already seeing it. Like I said, I mentioned it before, we had a 5-point gap, which has now been disintegrated back down to 2. This is 1 win and a loss away from we're back on bottom again.
Yeah.
You know, when we were woman in hand going, well, look, we'd take a playoff now, and, you know, can we catch Bows and bring them back? No, forget about that. Now we're struggling to stay ahead of Drogheda.
Because there is no, the momentum is with them. And that's the thing, because it looks like even if both of us are under pressure, it just seems like Dundalk will hit the self-destruct button quicker than Drogheda will. And if you just get that aura about the place, and yeah, it is worrying. We could be talking here in three games time where everything's just on its arse. We're just on the flip side of everything, and yeah, it's like, I mean, would you even fancy us in the playoff? I don't even know if I would. You know, at this particular.
Well, look, the only thing is that I see a lot of the other teams in the first division when I was covering Bray at the start of the season, like them. It's nothing fantastic. There's nothing fantastic. It really wouldn't worry me if we got into a playoff. The only thing would worry me there is you're probably playing a form team who's come through the playoffs and their playoff final to come and play us. And if we're continuing on this form of just meandering through the season, that would be the thing that probably worries me the most, because momentum going into a one-off game is absolutely huge, and that would worry me. But right now, like, a playoff ain't guaranteed, and that'd be the thing that worries me the most.
Yeah, I'm probably opening a can of worms here, and I could extend the show by about 2 hours. But
all right, this is Steph's on his own for the next hour. Let's go.
Yeah. The light bulb, it seems like the shining off. No, but like, you know, we talked a couple of weeks ago when Daly came in, and we were sort of saying, you know, we might see an uplift. I think Gallia might have mentioned in the strikers, because he was a striker himself, but we just haven't seen it, have we? Like,
well, I think in his defence, I think we seen a big change in Gullen. You know, he hit the 2 in the Pats match and then scored the one after, and then got injured. You know, if it wasn't for bad luck, we'd have no luck.
Yeah, I don't know if still for me, Gullen doesn't seem like he's as sharp as he should be, or as fit as he could be. Possibly it does take him 4 or 5 games to get up and running after an injury, but, you know,
don't really have that opportunity, have we?
Yeah, exactly. Time's running out. The sand's dripping out of the timer. So, yeah, like, look, I don't know. Just for me, he doesn't seem as sharp as he could be, or as fit as he could be either. But I don't know. Like you said, there could be
I think he only plays good, and we've seen that at the time we were playing Elliott up beside him in the Pats match and that, and he seems to work better with a partner beside him. But right now, who is our best partner to play up beside him? Is it O'Connor? We still haven't seen enough of him really to say anything. And you know, we talked about Owen Kenny as well being just so young, and that to be thrown in, and so much then expected of him. That's the real worry. And then we keep trying to change our system. Like, we played a Kiki close to him. That didn't seem to work last week. You know, what is that combination? What is it that will finally unlock something for him and will help him out? Because, like you say, Steph, whether it's just the way he plays or not, but he seems to struggle to lead the line. You know, you look at even just at Drogheda, you know, with James Taylor and Perro, they can play easily with their back to goal. They know how to trap a ball and bring in whether it's the wingers or just to recycle the ball back through the middle. We seem to miss that opportunity in a real focal point of a player. And what was the goal? Was it last year or the year before with Hubin that time? Remember, he traps the ball, rolls it out to the side, and by the time Archie Davis goes and whips the ball in, he's managed to get in himself in front of it. Was it Rovers that time? I think it might have been Nico Lopez. He pulled him out of position, and then Lopez is on the back foot trying to get back in front of him, and he wins the header, and we win 1-0. Like, we missed that sort of a player of a focal point who can trap a ball, and that's why I think Drogheda have recruited very well. They've got two players who can do that, who can harass and bully defence and occupy defenders, and then you're suddenly pulling them out of position, and that's leaving gaps for elsewhere in the park. But we don't seem to have, in particular in Gullen, it's just he's not that type of player. Yeah, so we need to find something else to play with him.
You've seen Walsh doing it tonight. Like, he was able to play with his back to goal, and he was, locking the ball in, laying it off for midfielders or wingers, and then he was obviously gets on the two crosses for the 2 goals. But he was a constant threat for them, and he was running in behind. He looked like he had a bit of pace and trickery about him. He twisted and turned a few times, and he gave, we kept our 2 centre halves very busy, and they didn't know what to do with him. And look, he gets his 2 goals and he's the match winner. But even
put 2 headers inside the 6-yard box too.
Yeah, well, he's involved in the build-up play, and then he's getting himself in on the end of stuff. How many times have we talked about, Gullen being that one step away from, connecting with something? There was a flash across the box in the first half, and Gullen just misses it. He's trying to get his toe on the end of it. Do you know what I mean? So it's just that yard of pace off, or he's not picking up the right positions to get there in time. It's just a bit frustrating when you're watching him, because you just feel like there's something going to happen for him. And then obviously we've seen the pats away in Inchicore performance, and you're sort of going to go, if he could produce that for us, even the wee glimpse in Daly went last week, I thought he wasn't the best at all, but when the goal came from him, making the run, cutting in front of the centre half, and he was either going to get taken out of it for a penalty or he was going to get a shot off. Yeah. And then it leads to, the ball coming out to Hogan, who smashed it in. So little stuff like that, but we just haven't seen enough of that from him on a consistent basis.
Or another striker, Steph, that can do that, so he doesn't have to. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, to share the responsibility. That's what we're missing.
Yeah, if he can link up the play, and you have somebody else in there who's gonna go and finish it. Obviously, Drogheda have used the Walsall connections to bring James Taylor over, and obviously he's got a few goals for them already. And they've recruited. They seem to have recruited better than we have, but. Yeah, it's nearly tomorrow. So
it must be pizza time. It must be pizza time, Gally.
It is pizza time, and I don't really see us now. If I could just try and find the comment. I don't really see us beating Corey's description of tonight's. But no, look, if there's anything to the contrary, boys, I think that's probably the podcast since we started. Never mind the podcast just tonight. Fans in pain still talking the same. That's pretty much us for the last 4
seasons. That's 4 seasons of the tournament.
4 seasons, no trophy, no FAI Cup, no league title. We just better stop what we're doing here, boys.
Honourable mention for John Curtis with his few Dutch.
John had me, and I had to come. If you noticed, John, a couple of seconds ago, I had to come off the camera at one stage because I was at stitches laughing at some of the comments. And then Corey put a spanner in the works, saying that the draw of 10 players were better than ours, which would have started another row at the end of McGull Street with John and the referees were tricking tonight. But yeah, look, Corey, well done at the pizza. Give Vinny a shout and Tony's and get yourself sorted. And we'll give him a contact. Steph, you text there, you can give it a name and stuff. But lads, look, I think it's I think we just have to go and look forward to next week. I suppose, we can't look forward to anything, but we can't even sweep this under the rug. I was going to say what we normally say, let's just forget tonight. You can't forget tonight. It's going to, the next couple of weeks are going to be so difficult. I mean, we're on the 3rd of August. God knows what's going to be happening when we come around in the middle of September. But things are going to change. That's just pretty much it. I don't know if it's a setup. It's the players' mentality. I really don't know, boys. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm so sorry, lads. Look, thanks for commenting in. Well, I'm surprised even anybody's still with us at this stage. As Steph says, it is Saturday. Thanks to our podcast sponsors, Dundalk Village. Thanks to the gear, which I don't have on tonight. I just show you the crest. I don't have a playoff fit one. Sorry, lads. It's just I don't old school jersey because I can't. And look, thanks for everybody commenting in. I suppose, unfortunately, you'll have to listen to us next. Are we Friday night again? Let me check. The 9th
Friday
night
for Derry, yeah.
Derry away. Best of luck to anybody who's travelling up. We might. I know Niall Newbury goes. We might bring him on live if we get a bit of a result on the way back. But
you have to be on Rome.
We get him on Rome. Him and Jerry might come. We get him and Jerry on Vodafone UK. But until then, I suppose it's just come on to town.